Compliance is something that any organization has to follow and take care of mandatorily. In this video, we are going to see how we can automate compliance using tools like Chef InSpec and OpenSCAP. So without any further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, let's talk about why compliance and compliance automation is important and why they play a crucial role in various industries. So the very first thing is legal requirements. Many industries are subject to strict regulations and legal requirements. Compliance ensures that organizations adhere to all these rules and they are not avoiding any legal consequences. So if you are working on compliance and if you automate your compliance, there is a good chance that computer will take care of your compliance automatically, and you will not run into human errors like forgetting to report something, forgetting to patch some software product, and your data will be overall secured, which means that compliance standards often include measures to safeguard sensitive data, and automation can help enforce security protocols, reducing the risk of data breaches, and they can ensure protection of customer and organizational information. Operation efficiency will be increasing if you use automation to apply and adhere to compliances. So let's talk about why compliance checks are important. So it's compulsory in today's world to verify adherence to regulations or standards, because in different countries we have different laws, and it will be very easy for an industry or a company to make a mistake in this regard, and a single mistake can cost a lot of money or may even cost business. So compliance protects your customers and data, and it builds trust, plus it avoids hefty fines which might be imposed by the government or by the bodies, and it also reduces the risk of breaches, and security vulnerabilities and data leaks can be minimized if you are using compliance. And if you're automating compliance, it will be very easy for you to manage everything. Now, in the era of artificial intelligence and machine learning and computer security, you will have to automate compliance in 2024 and beyond, because otherwise it will get very difficult for you to adhere to different compliances and different regulations and standards. So the challenge to a software company regularly comes in the form of complex regulations. These regulations keeps on changing, keeps on updating, and it is very difficult for a company to come up with a software which can take care of this, and maintenance of that software is going to be even bigger pain. So the challenges are complex regulations are there, resource constraints are there, human resource constraints are there, and then we have resource constraints in the form of time as well, and technological advancement, continuous updates to systems and processes need ongoing compliance assessments. And if you are not automating your compliance, it is very difficult for you to make sure that everything is in place. So compliance isn't just a box to tick, it's vital for protecting data, customers, and your business. Now, why compliance automation? Because it will increase your efficiency, it will increase the accuracy. Computer can get the job done better than you can do yourself. If a human is working on something, there's a good chance that human error will be there. And then consistency and cost effectiveness is also another thing that needs to be kept in mind. So with that said, we'll talk about the compliance standards overview. Now, at a very high level, there are three types of regulations: GDPR, HIPAA, PCI-DSS. GDPR stands for General Data Protection Regulation, and it ensures the protection of individuals' personal data by imposing strict requirements. Let us say you are using a website, you are getting user data, and you are creating accounts of your users. You are storing their addresses, you are storing their email addresses, you are storing their names, last names, date of birth, which can be misused, because if you are using such data to log your customer into your system, there's a good chance that that particular person is using the same password in, say, some other website, which can be as critical as bank's net banking. And if you are leaking your customers' data, you are putting your customer in a lot of risk. So it's important for the regulatory bodies to come up with such standards. So GDPR is one which protects your individual's personal data by imposing strict requirements. Now then, there is HIPAA, which stands for Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, and it governs the protection and secure handling of healthcare data to maintain patient privacy and confidentiality. Let us say somebody has a disease A, which is very critical disease, and that patient doesn't want everybody to know that they have that disease. So it's your duty to make sure that you are treating the patient and you are taking care of the security of his data and his privacy. Because if you are leaking the information, and if your information is getting leaked, you might say that it's not a big deal, but for a patient who is very concerned about that disease A that he or she has, they might end up into a lot of trauma. So HIPAA takes care of all those things. Then we have PCI-DSS, Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. It establishes standards for securely handling credit card information. Now this is very important these days when payments are going digital, everything is going digital. It is convenient for sure, but at the same time it might put customers into risk if you are not handling the data properly. So the regulatory bodies have come up with this Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, wherein you will have to make sure that you are securely handling the credit card information and safeguarding cardholder data and preventing unauthorized access. Because if you are taking access to somebody's bank account, you are highly responsible. So let's now talk about how we can use a software called Chef InSpec to automate this. There are some tools which can automate all this for you, because if you start writing code manually, you will select the tech stack, you will deploy that software might have bugs. If they have bugs and you are missing the compliance, then the very first thing that we talked about, minimizing human errors, that thing will backfire and you don't want that. So it's always better to use something which is already built and tested, and Chef Spec is one of those compliance automation tools. It works for defining and enforcing compliance rules, and it has support for various platforms and cloud environments. You can install it on Windows, you can install it on Linux, Mac. It's really very convenient. So we can use Chef InSpec. Then another tool is OpenSCAP. It's also a security compliance solution, and it accesses and enforces security policies. It can generate a report for you, and it's really easy for you to automate based off the content of those reports. So there are a lot of business benefits of these softwares, Chef Spec and OpenSCAP. There are some other softwares as well, but these are two major softwares which can be used for compliance automation. Speed and accuracy of automated compliance checks is crucial, and long-term cost savings can be done if you are using such solutions. So I'm inside my Akamai account, and I'll now show you how you can install OpenSCAP on Ubuntu. So let's click on create, and I'll click on Linode, and let's create a machine, Ubuntu 22 LTS, and I'll select a region. Let me create it in Atlanta. I am going to select shared CPU. Let me select a 2 GB Linode, and I'll select a password. And after selecting the password, let's click on create Linode, and a Linode will be created for me. So I'll wait for Linode to provision. There is a website called idroot.us from where you can copy all the commands and install OpenSCAP. So you can install OpenSCAP, and after installing OpenSCAP, you can start generating reports. Alright, so this machine is being provisioned. Let's copy the SSH command, and I'm going to log into this machine. Let's do SSH. Let's type yes, and let's type the password that I've selected. And yes, I'm inside this machine. So let's start running all these commands one by one. So the first command is sudo apt update. Let's copy this command and run it. Sudo apt update. I'm not going to upgrade because I just created this machine. If you want, you can upgrade. I'm not going to upgrade. We'll also install Apache 2. Which we'll need, and we'll also install libopenSCAP 8. Okay, let's come back to our terminal. Let's paste Apache 2 and let's paste libopenSCAP 8, and let's press enter. Let's press Y. All right, and then we'll see whether OpenSCAP is installed or not. Let's paste this command, and yes, it is installed. If you do oscap --version, you will see the information associated with the software. Okay. let's come back to this and let's download this XML. Now the thing is that this particular file is no longer found on Ubuntu repository, which is why I have fixed this command by changing the link, and you can copy or type the link from here. So it's security metadata.canonical.com/over/com.ubuntu.$lsb_release-cs, and then you can use this, and the moment you press enter it will be downloaded. Now if I do ls, this file will be downloaded, and you can unzip it using bunzip2. So I'll use this command bunzip2 com.ubuntu.lsb_release-cs.usn.oval.xml.bz2, and this will unzip it and I'll get the XML file, as you can see. Now since I have this XML file, I can start using OSCAP and generate the report. So I'll come back here and I'll copy this command, and instead of putting my report inside /tmp, I'll put my report in the Apache root. So I'll run this command. Basically what I'm saying is I'm saying that generate a report.html, which will be generated right here, and then I'm going to copy this report.html to my Apache to root, which is /var/www/html. So I'm going to run this command sudo cp report.html/var/www/html. But before that I want to show you that this report has been generated. So this report.html has been generated, and let's run this cp command to copy this to my Apache root. Once you copy this to Apache root, make sure that you restart Apache 2 sudo service Apache 2 restart. Apache 2 will be restarted, and now you can go to your IP address and paste it here, and you can do /report.html. okay, and now that you have generated this report, you can go to this IP address /report.html, and this report will be generated here, as you can see. Now I have generated this report for my Ubuntu system, and it is telling me that this is a libssh vulnerability which is present in my Ubuntu operating system. Then we have an OpenSSH vulnerability. Then there are some of the kernel vulnerabilities which have been fixed, which means that we don't have to worry about them, but you can always parse this report, and you can parse it using beautiful soup. And the moment I inspect it, you can say that result bad A, get all the TRs of result bad A class and report them. So you can always write a piece of software around this, and you can use cron job to keep generating this report. You can also go and install Chef InSpec, which will give you even more features for compliance automation. You can write your YAML files and start automating for your compliance. So I hope that this video was helpful. Thank you so much guys for watching this video, and I will see you next time.